I'm going to do a pattern and damage test on these 3 different double buckshots for the 12 gauge. Zombie Max, Royal Buck, and Suprema. I'll be using this Winchester Model 1300 Defender. And the targets I'll be shooting are these blocks over here. I took some cardboard and taped it to some fence boards and 2x4s. All 3 targets are the exact same. 3 fence boards thick and then 1 layer 2x4s. And I also put some extra 2x4s behind them just in case something happens to go through. And I'll be shooting them in this exact order right here. It'll be the Zombie Max, then the Royal Buck, and then the Suprema. And every single shot's going to be from exactly 50 feet away. So we're going to see the damage and pattern on all 3 of these buckshots. So give me 1 second to set up. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, here goes the Zombie Max. And now the Royal Buck. And here's Suprema. Now let's take a look at the difference between all those. Okay, from 50 feet, there was Zombie Max. Let me get the tape measure. Let's take a look at them first. Zombie Max, Royal Buck, and here's the Suprema. Hit a little high with that one, but we can still see the pattern. And there's the marks on the trees that it did, so. I'm gonna cut these open and then I'll show you the results. Okay, let's take a look at the results. Let's go backwards this time now. The 2 that hit the tree on the Suprema here, I measured and they were 3 inches above the top of its cardboard and 2 inches apart, so see if I can do this while holding the camera. So the other 2 hits were up there where the 3 is and 2 inches apart. And the rest of the pattern, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there was 8, 9. So it's about, it was about 9 inches of spread exactly, because plus 3 on the up there. So about a 9-inch circle of spread on the Suprema. Now let's check the Royal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 of them must have went over 2. I didn't see that though. So let's just check the spread on this. That's 9 inches again. So I'm just gonna assume the spread on this was also 9 inches, because from here to the top It's about 3 inches again. Probably about 9-inch spread on the Royal. And then the Zombie Max, 6. So the Zombie Max had the smallest spread. It was about 5 inches across and 6 inches long ways or horizontally, or actually diagonally. 5 inches horizontally. So the Royal and the Suprema were both a 9-inch diameter spread, and the Zombie Max was about 6 by 5. Now let's take a look at all the damages. So here's the Suprema. See if any of them penetrate any different than the others. So there's the first 2 fence board exits. Second entries. Second exit. Third entry. It's bringing a bunch of wood in with it from the last one. So if there was something behind one of these fence boards, they would take secondary projectiles from the wood pieces themselves. There's the exit on the third one. That one doesn't have one. So that Suprema didn't even go through all 3 fence boards on one of them. It stuck in the third fence board right there. All these other ones went through though, and not even stuck in there. Wow, it just came right out. So, and then there's one stuck right there. So there's only 2. Or wait, there's another one here stuck in there. I'm not gonna dig all that out. That one seems a little bit deeper. And then there's one in there, or maybe yeah, it's stuck right there. That probably gives us an idea of how deep the other one is. So Suprema barely made it to the 2x4s, it seems like, with just a little bit of penetration on the 2x4s maybe. Well, let's see exactly how much. About 1/2 inch. That's what the Suprema can do. 3 fence boards and then 1/2 inch. Now let's check the other ones. Royal buck. Yeah. There's the entries on this one. Exits. They're all obviously going to have the same effect with the wood being secondary projectiles. Second exits. Third entries. Lots of wood came with this one. Let's see. Third fence board exits. So none of the Royal bucks got caught in any of the fence boards, and one of the Supremas did. All of these went straight through, and then let's see what it did here. There's one just barely stuck there, so that was the weakest one of those pellets from the Royal buck. So it seems like the Royal bucks got a little bit more punch than the Suprema, but about the same amount of spread. But really, it's probably a negative. So the Suprema seems like it has a tiny bit more penetration, but let's check for sure again. Let's take the Suprema. Yeah, see, both of those pellets are just barely in there, like that one on the side. Same with that one. You can, well, no, I can't see that one, but these ones seem like they're a little deeper because I can't even see them in there except for that one. And that one there, you can see a little piece of lead showing. That one you can't, too deep. So yeah, the Royal buck got a little bit more penetration than the Suprema. Just a little bit, probably like 1/4 to 1/2 inch more on the 2x4. Now let's see the Zombie Max. It has the smallest pattern, 6x5, and it also only has 8 pellets, while the other two both have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. 8 entries. Look at exit pattern. I'll save all of those. But yeah, so there's entry or exit, second exits. Huh. Almost seemed like there's something stuck there, but no, it's just wood. Third entries. And third exits, and there's a pellet right there. Zombie Max pellet. Next to this is a Suprema pellet, pretty sure. Yeah, and that's the Zombie Max pellet right next to each other. They were both just stuck on the 2x4 after the third layer of fence board. So these two had almost the exact same penetration. Those two pellets at least. Now let's check the rest of the Zombie Max. These seem like they're a lot deeper than the Suprema. Maybe even deeper than the Royal Buck too, I don't know. Because I don't see any of them in there. There's just that one stuck on the front of the 2x4 or whatever. Oh, there's one. Down there. Oh, and one actually exited. So, none of them had exits except for the Zombie Max, I believe. Let's check the Royal Buck real fast. Yep. And there's a Royal Buck pellet, so. There's Zombie Max, Royal Buck, and Suprema all right next to each other. But yeah, only the Zombie Max had a single penetration, and just one single one. Right here. Which was that one. So the Zombie Max had the most penetration and the smallest pattern from 50 feet away. So I'm sure it would have the smallest pattern and the most penetration at pretty much any distance too, compared to these, but it does have one less pellet. So, I don't know, I think the Zombie Max is probably a little better. Packs a little bit harder punch than both the other two, it seems like, and keeps a little tighter pattern out to farther distances, so you could keep more on target at a farther range while packing more of a punch still. The Royal Buck and Suprema were almost identical, just a tiny bit more penetration on the Royal Buck. So, yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. And there also is one other thing to keep in mind, the price on all of these. All of these cost about the exact same. I paid $12 for each one pretty much, including tax. Except these two came with 25 and this one only has 10. So you get more than double the amount of shots with these and just a tiny bit more penetration and tighter pattern with this. So it might be worth it if you got a lot of money, but it's up to you.